For Rey, it's not done until it's right.
You know, I actually knew Rey Perez before he was Rey Perez.
He's always got a smile, he's always got energy, and he's always bringing his A game.
You can look back and say sort of, this is before Rey and after Rey.
Rey is actually a branding genius, and he actually has a get it done for you system.
For most people, we just can't see what our message is supposed to be, but he can.
And I was totally blown away by the information that he was sharing.
Rey has an amazing spirit and charisma that is just very unique to him. His desire to give to others, to help them succeed, that was what was really impressive, just to see that the transformation that he can bring about in people.
Rey delivers, and he over-delivers, and he's a great resource.
He's authentic. He really cares about what he does. He really believes in what he does, and he cares about each and every person that he works with, company, person, individual, groups. He wants to see them succeed. It's his passion. He's selfless in that way.
So what I like best about working with Rey is that it is obvious he has practiced and done every single thing that he teaches you, and he has the system to make sure that it works for you.
I would definitely refer Rey Perez to other people because he actually delivers.
He's focused, he's dedicated, he has drive, there's a tenacity to him.
The clarity that he can bring to you is key. The scripting that he can bring to you is key. And let's be honest, if you want to look like an amazing brand, you've got to have these important assets. And Rey knows how to do this quickly, efficiently, and with the minimal amount of time. So that's why it's great to work with Rey.
I needed somebody to completely do it for me, and that's what I got done with Rey.
So I can't say enough positive things about Rey. He's great.
And he's chasing excellence. So that's what I like about Rey.
For Rey, it's...
All right. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited for this live because I have a very special guest. He is one of the top coaches in the industry. He's been working with entrepreneurs and business owners for several years, showing them how to increase their sales in their programs anywhere from $20,000 to $150,000. He's known for sharing with his clients and his audience how to take a 3-day event and turn it into a 7-figure event. What he typically does is what someone does in a year, he does in a weekend. And this guy is absolutely amazing. And besides how valuable he is in the business world, what I love about this guy is his heart, because he's a very spiritually down-to-earth human being that actually really cares. And for me, that's even more important than being a good business coach, and he's both. So I'm very excited for today's special guest. He has an exciting event coming up next week, which is why we're doing this live, and I have the honor to be speaking at this event. So let's put your hands together for our good friend, Mr. Alex J. Moskow, everyone. Alex, you there, buddy?
I'm here, brother. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for being here, taking time out of your crazy schedule before your event next week in Houston. And in a moment, I want to just share a little bit about with the audience what you got going on. But if you can just kind of share a little bit about how you got started in the industry and how you got to being who you are today.
Totally. So I have had a challenge with a stutter for most of my life. Oftentimes it's very difficult for me to say my own name, and that was really challenging. And even throughout my childhood and middle school, high school, I always felt like I was meant for big things, which is really weird. Like I was meant to like impact the world. Like there was like a knowing, even like at a young age, but I had a hard time even saying my name sometimes. So that was kind of a strange experience to just kind of like have that running in the background of my psyche as I was like, trying to figure it out as I was growing up. And so much so to where when I was 19 years old, after a Cinco de Mayo party at my fraternity, was incredibly intoxicated at my house sleeping, and my window shatters, and there's 4 men with assault rifles and SWAT gear in my room.
What?
And across their chest, it says DEA.
Oh.
And so that was my first entrepreneurial experience in college. It didn't go so well because I was arrested for selling drugs to an undercover agent at that age. Oh. And it was by far the best thing that could have happened to me, because literally 2 weeks after that, I got a message from a friend to go to a personal development seminar. And like at 19, I was like partying, having a great time. And I thought I had everything figured out in life. And then boom, big life trajectory shift. It was super clear that I did not have everything figured out. I needed some support, some mentorship, because I had such loving parents. Like, they were supporting me through college. I wasn't selling drugs for the money. I was selling them because I just wanted to be accepted. And people usually like the guy who also brings the party. So it was a great way for me to just make friends. And I saw, though, that in my life, I was doing everything to just be accepted. I never felt good enough. I never felt like I was okay the way that I was. I always needed to overcompensate because sometimes I would trip up on my words. Wow. And so that event, or that invitation, was so synchronistic 2 weeks after I was arrested, because it showed me that, there was something here at play. And I was open at that time to be able to go to an event like that. And that event changed my whole life. Like, going to that event and showed me I had limiting beliefs. There was patterns in my life that weren't mine, and the stories I told myself that weren't true. That this voice in my head, my thoughts, it was the first time I had the concept of I am not my thoughts. So that, fast forward, and going to personal development events, they're like, hey, if you want to have real control over your life, you need to start a business. You got to be an entrepreneur. And so that really launched me into starting that launched me into the entrepreneurial world. I had a couple marketing companies, and then I started to grow and scale those. And as I was growing and scaling those, I realized that I had no idea how to really grow a business. Like, I had no idea I could sell stuff. I had a mentor who helped me land a $100,000 package when I was 21. Wow. Great money. That burned me out. It was clear that I didn't know how to really scale it and build a team. And the universe aligned to where I basically went to go work with a high-level coach who I hired, and helped him build his coaching company from 0 to multiple 7 figures when it was just he and I. A super lean team, but I was doing 100-hour weeks. Like, it was blood, sweat, and tears. And it was the exact education that I needed to be able to build a success habits in being an entrepreneur. So fast forward to now, I've had my coaching business for about 9 years, really specializing in helping the top coaches, experts, and speakers be able to craft their coaching programs, offers, and masterminds anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000 and beyond, and really how to craft the messaging in the offer to really attract the top percentage of who their audience is, and to really go narrow and deep first. Because I find so many coaches, especially in entrepreneurs, want to change the world. My philosophy is, the sad reality is hardly any of them do, because you got to go narrow and deep first. You got to serve the right people on a deep level and build that skill set of really serving them, and then you can go wide. But I feel like so many people go wide and they never go deep, and that's why they don't have the results that they have. So,
and why don't you think that they do that, Alex, in your opinion and your experience?
Yeah, I think that I think it's natural to want to change the world. I think that they're wanting to change the world is a spiritual bypass for not looking at themselves. I believe if you want to change the world, whatever change you want to see has to happen within yourself first. And I feel like that part is missed on a big, massive level. So being able to, change yourself, to also live your own work, to be congruent. So Congruent Coach is the name of my coaching brand. And it starts with ourselves. So I think that that's the piece that's missed, is because they rather than looking inside and looking at, okay, what am I doing to produce the results that I don't have? They're looking at, okay, I want to help everyone else, when they don't look at themselves. And I've lived that so many years of not feeling good enough, of just because I've had a stutter, and having people out there who've been doing business coaching for 10, 20 years. Why would someone hire me who can't say my name when they can go to someone else, right? So I feel like I've overcome that. And, in having a stutter, being able to, sell $100,000 coaching packages from stage, teach people how to do the same thing, how to run their events. It's been such an evolutionary process, but I've gone first. And I feel like leadership means I go first, and coaching is leadership. It's just packaged in a way of how do you really lead someone to a result that they don't currently have.
And obviously you're very successful in business, and you've coached so many other entrepreneurs to be successful in their different areas of business as well. But can you share with the audience that may not really be or understanding the spiritual connection, the holistic, the inner work, not just the outer work?
Totally. So I believe that our results are such a charged thing. And the reason why we don't have the results that we want is because we have a story about the current results that we have. So being able to look at what are we actually doing? And looking at our results in a objective point of view is the first important step. That's very like linear. That's not spiritually connected, really. It's just, can you actually look at your results without whatever charge you have of the story of I should be here? That story, I should be, is a great indicator of whatever limiting belief that you have of why you don't have what you want. So as an entrepreneur, to look at, okay, this is the vision that I have. These are the results that I want. This is the life that I want. And then the question is, who do I get to become to create those results? And the spiritual connection comes from, in spirit, I mean, whatever you believe in. You believe in a higher power, whether it's, you call it God or the universe or whatever resonates with you, it's all the same energetics. Like it's all the same thing. If you look at like whatever that is, it's faith, right? So to have faith that you will create a vision in results that you don't currently have, it takes faith. So that connection to whatever that energy is for you, God, the universe, that is so important, to have the faith to hold the vision when the results in your life don't reflect what that vision is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And let's tie this to this event that's going on in Houston next week, April 19th through the 22nd, because this has been something you've been working on for a very long time. And it's a mixture of that business, outer work, that spiritual inner work, with this music festival passion that you have around DJing and not just being an amazing businessman, but also celebrating. Share how this dream has kind of come to life and what's going to be happening next week.
Oh man, thanks for the question. So let me just take a sip of water for this one. So in coaching entrepreneurs for 12 years, and I had an amazing mentor to where when I was 21 and 22, I was coaching people almost 3 times my age. So that was like and I'm so grateful for him because he put me in those experiences, you know, when I shouldn't have been in them, when I would have never put myself in those experiences. So what I've learned though in coaching entrepreneurs for 12 years is that if their identity, if how they see themselves doesn't match with their vision, you can give them the best business strategy, like the exact thing to do, but they won't take action on that because they don't see themselves as that person that gets that result.
Yeah.
So Abundance Amplifier, the event next week, is around helping the successful entrepreneur who has really put their heart and soul into their business, has the level of their business game down, making money, growing their business. That's not a challenge anymore. Could they always grow a bigger business? Of course they could. But what I found is if their identity doesn't match that, then they're not going to create the result. And what I've also learned is that really why I help people making money, and to be clear, I love helping people make money. It's so much fun. But my reasoning for helping people make more money is to be able to help them increase the quality of their life. And the sad reality that I've noticed is that there are a few of my hundreds of clients where their quality of life actually has changed. And the ones that have actually looked at, okay, I have this level of business down. Now I get to look at my relationships. I need to get to look at my family life. I get to look at my partnership in romance, or my spouse, or my girlfriend or boyfriend or fiance, or whatever that part of their life looks like. And what I found is that Abundance Amplifier, well, what the event or what that term actually means is that it's what is the area of your life that's the first domino to really knock over all the other areas of your life, or the first domino that knocks over everything else to amplify everything else. So for entrepreneurs, it's usually not business. It's usually their family life. It's usually their health. It is usually their spiritual connection. And once they really get that part of their life handled, or they're pumping energy into it, it grows their business. They're starting to attract better clients. I don't scientifically know why that is. My belief on it is, and my theory is that because there's a part of them that they haven't paid attention to for a while. And then when they actually integrate that and pay attention to it, they have more capability. There's more parts of themselves that are online. So I'll share this. I'll tie this in a bow with a story of my own life. So as I shared, I helped my first business partner grow his coaching business from 0 to multiple 7 figures. I was doing 100-hour work weeks, blood, sweat, and tears. And then when I started my own business after that, I realized that I've just been working so hard, and I've loved music. I love music festivals, love concerts. It's like, man, I haven't allowed myself to have fun in so long. And so I chose, which was super counterintuitive, that rather than like my main focus being marketing and growing the business, it was going to be fun. So I built my entire business from the start around going to music festivals. So I would go to music festival, and then I would, and to be clear, it took me a year into my business to actually make this decision. So it didn't happen right away. So at that point, when I made that decision, it was so scary to go to my clients. Hey, going to a music festival, I'm going to be off the map for a week, but I'll be back on this date. And when I first shared that, my clients were so supportive. Like, they were like, go, like, you've been awesome. Like, go have fun. And I was like, holy shit, this is okay. And then on the other side of that, and it didn't matter if I was sober at festivals or I wasn't, on the other side of these experiences, I was a more integrated version of myself. My coaching calls were better. I was picking up things about my clients that I wasn't picking up before. And I was sharing things with them that I didn't know where it was coming from. Like, I had no idea of how I had access to a different level of consciousness to share exactly what that person needed to share. So I was like, huh, interesting. And so when I prioritized fun, and fun was my abundance amplifier at that time, I attracted in better clients. My business exploded. I had a quantum leap in my life. Take that, was for a couple of years. About fast forward, or this was 6 years ago, I met my now fiance, Jennifer Hootie, and my abundance amplifier switched from fun over to love. And so I prioritized love above everything else. Our relationship was the most important thing in my life. She still is the most important thing in my life. And since I've prioritized that, again, another quantum leap in my business. When I first met her, it was my first 7-figure year. I did an event a year into our relationship, and it was my first ever event of 50-ish people. We did $600,000 at that event. And it just was another quantum leap because I was clear in my life of what was most important. And I feel that's the biggest thing that entrepreneurs don't do, is they build their life around their business, when I think your business should be the fuel and the vehicle to create the life that you want. And it should be built around that. So so that's a little bit about Abundance Amplifier and what the term means, and why the event has such a wide variety of speakers, of the top experts that I know. Then I've been on such a big growth journey of being able to look at all the personal development, the crazy healing stuff, because that's what's helped me with my stutter more than all the clinical speech therapy has. So it's me sharing all the transformational technologies that I found to just help entrepreneurs to be a better human. And my belief is, if they're a better human, their business will explode.
Yeah, agreed. So let's talk about some of the speakers that are going to be at the event, because let's see, I got a flyer right here. So let's take a look at who do we got.
We got Mr. Dave Asprey, who is become a dear friend of mine. Going to Burning Man is where I actually met Dave. And so that's also why I've had some of my best business partnerships, some of my going to concerts and going to festivals with them. So outside of the regular business seminar and high level mastermind that we pay $25,000 for, all that, and to be clear, I love that stuff too. So it's not an either or. I believe it's a both and. So being able to connect with people in a space where it's just a human to human connection and it's having fun. I think if stuff's fun, people are also more consistent when stuff is fun. So all of my programs, my events, I sprinkle that stuff in, because I think even from a business perspective, it's like, if you and your top competitor are neck and neck with a client, if your stuff's more fun than the other person, they're going to pick you 10 times out of 10. If everything else lines up, right? So Dave Asprey, one of the top leaders in the biohack, he invented the industry of biohacking. So he's going to come in and talk about one of his brands, 40 Years of Zen, which is a way to scientifically upgrade your brain. It is some of the most advanced transformational technology. You're hooked up to a machine that monitors your brain waves, and then they run you through processes of being able to repattern scientifically the different connections in your brain to help you come out a more upgraded version of yourself. How do you know you're an upgraded version of yourself? Because it's science, it's data, it's tracked. Your brain is literally different and upgraded after that. So he's going to talk about those types of technologies there. We got Yannick Silver and Glenn Ledwell and Amber Spears, who are three people who I've looked up to for years. They run some of the top entrepreneurial masterminds and entrepreneur groups in the world, in my opinion. And they're coming to talk about actual epic community. How do you build a community that is long lasting? How do you build a community that stands the test of time? And how do you make the hard decisions? So there's going to be a panel around, hey, when someone is in your community and it's kind of acting a fool or just isn't in integrity, like how do you kick people out? How do you know? Like these are the conversations that we're having at this event, is how do you know when someone isn't a good fit or you thought they were and you need to ask them to leave? How do you guys have that conversation with class and grace or not? Like what's the process for that? Right. So again, this is an event for leaders to come together, to put their mask of leadership down. They don't have to be who they are online. They get to come and connect with leaders who have a different quality of problems. And we get to all come together at this time in the world where the world is going through what the world is going through. And it's a way to take an exhale, to reconnect to a bigger vision, to co-create a bigger vision together. Again, that's why there's such a vast variety of topics of speakers, is so that we can get a wider perspective of the best people who are in artificial intelligence. What is happening there? I dabble a little bit, but I want to know from the best experts who've been in the AI game for years of what do they see as the future of this stuff. It's kind of scary, but it's very exciting too, right? So I want to know what's happening there. So again, that's why such a wide variety of speakers, to be able to get a wider perspective, but it's also for everyone who's coming to the event to know, okay, what is my abundance amplifier? Because it's going to be different for every person. So that's why we're talking about health. That's why we're talking about neuroscience. That's why we're talking about relationship, the top intimacy experts on the planet coming in to talk about these things, so that everyone there can walk away knowing, okay, this is the area of my life that's most important, has the most energy, that you've probably been ignoring for a while. And so that's a little bit about like the context of the event, and also about some of the speakers who are coming as well.
So we only have a few minutes left, and I love this. I wish we can keep going, but talk about the event's music festival component, because I just think that is so epic. And we already know your story of how you just were traveling, but how are you bringing it into this event?
Yeah, so I have a standard for just parties and festivals that I've been integrating and doing for 12 years. Like I'll say it like this. Each night, like we have content throughout the day. It's connective, it's breathwork, it's experiential. There's leadership trainings, there's great content. Then we have epic dinners. Then at night, it's full on festival mode. It's not like the business party at every other business event, where it's just like cocktail rounds and, there's a DJ or whatever. Like we have full on Burning Man art installation coming in. Our level of like projection mapping and lasers and the quality of the sound systems. One, it's honestly for me, like I DJ, like my vision is to play on some of the biggest stages and festivals like EDC and Coachella. Like I know that's the direction that I'm heading. And so I'm bringing in what I've learned about festival culture, and why I believe that I come out on the other side of festivals a more integrated version of myself, and so many other people come out like super depleted, like in like a negative loop in their mindset, where that's just not my experience. So and it's also the level of detail in all of the art, of the quality of the sound. It's to really elevate the frequency of the event too. And it's also a way to like integrate such a powerful day. Like day one is all around love and leadership. So our evening party is called Love Groove, and all the music is themed around love. So it's a way to integrate the experience with lasers, but really healing lasers. Do we have healing lasers? I'm just kidding. Maybe, but that's really what the experience is about, because I also just know how to take care of my people. My biggest passion is people, and really knowing the intricacies of leadership and what we go through, and what we go through in leading our teams, what we go through in our family life and our friendships when we're growing and the people around us may not be. Yeah. So the festival component is designed to really bond the community, because that's what the biggest focus is. This event isn't about me. It's about the people who are there. I master creating the container. I create the context. I know how to put the right ingredients with the right people in the room. And then I know how to like put the art there in a way to help people integrate and get re-inspired by their business, their mission, and their vision again.
Well, I'm super excited. I mean, I know I'm going to be speaking at the event. So, I know the lineup. I know these amazing people. I can't personally wait to be there. So if you're watching this right now and you want to be at this event, April 19th through the 22nd, go to abundanceamplifier.com. Also, if you want to reach out directly to Alex and connect with him, just go to Alex Moscow 360, all his socials, all his connection, everything's in one place. And I'm just super excited, dude. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'm just looking forward to next week's event.
I'm looking forward to, and I would say if you're watching this and you want to come, reach out, because if you're coming through Rey, we got a special deal for you. So check out the website, like read through it. If it resonates, amazing, and reach out, because if you apply, so definitely go through the site, apply. But if you don't reach out, I'm not going to know that you're coming through Rey, and you won't get Rey's special deal. So just wanted to make sure that that's also clear. And also do it now if you're watching it, because again, the event is coming up here very, very soon, and we need to make sure that we have all the details handled. Our events are highly curated for the experience. So our team likes to make sure that we know how many people are coming, so we can really design everything. We can get everything ordered as well to make sure that everyone is served in the way that we serve our people. So excited to see you, Rey, next week and have you speak and share your gifts at the event, and excited for everyone who's watching this, who's inspired and called to come join us as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Alex. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. And thank you for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.